Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm doing a bit of a follow-up part 2 to the Bedivere overhaul from my last video. I was pretty happy with what I showed off with him, but after talking to the mod creator, he really recommended that I try out the Vengeance rework. I'm generally not a big fan of this kind of playstyle, but he assured me that, trust me, there's some really cool stuff you can do with it. He really did a good job of minimizing the sort of downsides to it and making the damage buffs and such from it become quite strong. He said the damage you can do is apparently pretty comparable to, like normal Vanguard backstab kind of shenanigans. So here I am again to sort of explore that. I'm going to this little blind. I actually haven't played around a whole lot, like done some sort of experimenting playtesting ahead of time, like I normally do. So for the build here, I changed it up a little bit to basically sort of lean into Vengeance a little bit. I did end up taking the extra Vitality upgrade here for the extra injury tokens. So you can see now he has 6 injury tokens, which is, I think, pretty big since we're going to be relying on him being at little to no HP. He's going to be taking direct hits, which means he can potentially get injured. So having a lot of these will prevent a lot of potential injuries. And the big thing that really helps stop this here is the rework to Combat Fever is +1 injury tokens when attacking, and he has no HP. So as long as he's still attacking stuff, we should never burn through these 6 injury tokens. So this upgrade itself may even be a little unnecessary. Can only suffer minor injuries, so if we do somehow manage to burn through all 6 of these, it'll be nothing debilitating. There's an extra 2 injury tokens built in here for the Berserk upgrade. 12 Unbreakable Armor is pretty good. Not as good as the full 26, but it's not bad. I'm sure there's gear that we could probably find if I was actually playing through fresh on this. 33%, that's a huge amount, so let's just go ahead and get in there. The gear is the same, actually. I'll cover that real quick. The only difference is I'm using this weapon, a little more damage-oriented, so maybe we'll get some better damage numbers. And, yeah, let's just go ahead and jump in and we can see how much more damage he does in this video compared to my last one. We're doing Three Sisters as usual, my go-to mission for these older save files, and it also helps make a more direct one-to-one comparison. So we're just gonna move Bedivere up, try and bait in some attacks so we can start getting our HP a little bit lower, and we're just gonna kind of play crowd control with everyone else over here to hopefully keep the pressure off of us a little bit. Some like ice wall, go protection, and I meant to illusion actually. Let's put in an illusion like there, and we'll mind fog. Let's get a slow. Alright, I think that should be fine. Okay. They didn't really get a whole lot in here. I guess we probably could do a mock. Let's do a mock. We'll move around to here. Take the opportunity attack. Okay, that's a pretty nice hit right there. What's a death strike? That'll actually be a kill because of the execute. Move up to here. That's before we even got our blessing and everything. Really, that's not an execute. Interesting. Oh, that's only on the death strike. I'm dumb. I don't have culling hits on my gear. Alright, and let's just start moving Bedivere over this way. I think we see an immediate improvement in damage, though. Like, definitely can't argue that. Let's go ahead and freeze you, get you over here. You're taunted, so you'll go after him. We'll just put up another illusion to protect our backline over here. We can even mind fog you, I think. And This Weeper will probably shoot Bedivere because his back is presented. They generally like to go for the backstabs. Yep, went for it. Okay, let's go ahead and use Sprint. Let's go ahead and do a Death Hex. Probably finish off, yeah. We'll get the kill with Bedivere, though. Then we can wrap around over to here. We have a lot of movement AP. Thank you, Sprint. Oh, that's right. Basic attack is 4 AP now. Okay, that's not a big deal. We can just drop this. Take care of one of them. And what do we got for you? One shy. Okay, that looks good. And let's just Death Strike. Okay. We'll just leave him as he is. Don't want to heal, because we want to try and get that HP lower for the bigger damage buff. Okay, second fight. Like last time, going against the humans, the brigands. We're going to kind of play similar to what we did last time. And let them come to us. We'll build up some AP so we can really just swoop in with like one really big turn. See how much hits we can get in. We will move Bedivere up a little bit. Try and see if the crossbowman can shoot him a little. I think that'd probably be good to kind of whittle down some of our HP a little more. And we'll just do an illusion to protect these three right here. Okay. Let's go ahead and sprint. We're looking at 104. That's definitely not bad. I don't want to pop off just yet with, you know, our Inspire and Bless. I want to get that HP just a little bit lower. I'm really curious to see what kind of numbers we can put up. That's pretty good. And then one more. Okay. And let's just go ahead and put a mock, I guess. This should be fine. Okay, pretty close to 0, so it's not quite 33%, but it's going to be really close. Now let's go ahead and pop off here. Let's use Sprint. Let's move to here. Flurry. Move around back over here. We can even move one more. Try and get this guy. If we hit him with a Death Strike, no, that's not going to be 20. Wow, wow. It's going to do how much? 161 and 183. That is some big numbers. Let's keep you away, though. And teleport. We're just messing around with Bedivere. We don't want them doing a whole lot. Alright. That's good. And they did nothing? That's interesting. Let's go ahead and take the hit. Alright. So pretty low in vitality. Not very durable, but no injuries. Let's see. Okay, injury token 0 out of 6. But if we hit this guy, still reads 0 out of 6. That's interesting. But we're doing so much damage. We hit him with a Death Strike. I mean, the damage is no joke, but really not tanky in the slightest. So I think, yeah, if you're going to use him this way, I think you definitely should probably be bringing a tank with you to just kind of help keep some pressure off him when he does get this low. We can go ahead and... Let's go ahead and Blood Hex. Send a couple attacks over his way. That should be fine. He's just swinging at that illusion. Okay. Well, let's move Bedivere up. Let's burn through some of this movement AP. Build up that ramping damage. And let's see. Wow. That's a good hit. 175 and I think 129. They're stacked on top of each other. And you can see the assassination is kicking in for a huge chunk of damage. Damage is no joke, that's for sure. Can't argue that in the slightest. So let's go ahead and start working on you. Death Hex. Glacial Strike, Raven Swarm, Fire Drake, Inspire, Bless, throw an Icicle at you. That should be more than enough for Bedivere to get a kill here, especially after we pop Sprint. Hit him for 414. That is a good hit. With the Culling Strikes, finishes off that extra 10. Execute. Okay, well, I mean, I'm definitely sold on the damage. The damage, you can definitely reach some pretty crazy numbers with the Vengeance. Tankiness, at least on very hard, is about as much as I was expecting, but I think that's fair. I think if this guy suddenly became as good of a tank as, you know, like a defender, for example, especially as good as a defender, or maybe a champion, that'd be a bit problematic. So it was enough to keep him alive. He took 2 hits from 2 different enemies on very hard with 0 HP. His armor was really depleted. A normal Vanguard would have just straight up died there. He managed to live, so that's pretty much all you want from it. He took no injuries, so not bad. I know that was only 2 fights to sort of show off, a little bit shorter, but I mean, I've more or less kind of really showed his broad strokes in a previous video, so I didn't want this one to be super long. Really just focusing on what his damage capability is, as, you know, that's kind of what the mod creator Karan was telling me about. And he did not lie. The damage potential here is really good. He definitely works as a primary damage dealer here. And, you know, he didn't say that he was going to be super tanky. It's definitely better than the old version of Vengeance. He was able to live, which is the most important thing. So basically, you just have to be a bit more careful if you're going to be using him to make sure he doesn't zero out. If you have a right team comp like a defender, I think it'd be pretty easy to keep him alive. I mean, I was intentionally trying to feed more hits into him. If I was playing more cautiously, you know, over the course of the entire mission, the team comp I brought with me with the amount of CC they had easily could have stretched out his health over the course of the entire mission very easily. And his damage would have just ramped up over the course of the entire mission instead of just the first 2 fights. Very, very good damage, though. Like 401 hit, that's really good for how much AP? 6 AP? That's solid. I mean, with a culling effect on that, really like that. That was surprising amount of fun with that kind of play style. If you are gonna go ahead and play the Enhanced Edition, which I do recommend you give a try, especially if you've beaten the game once already, Bedivere is much more solid in this one, much more fun too. Definitely give that a strong recommendation as a primary damage dealer candidate. Coming out pretty soon, he told me that the rework for all of the champions except for Lancelot, I believe, is going to be coming out soon, be up and ready, so you can expect to see that. After I cover the reworked champions, I'm probably going to switch back to continuing my Let's Play, and then there's another mod that I'm definitely going to want to cover that is a lot farther along in its production, so there's a lot of stuff to cover there, but because there's so much, I do want to probably finish my Let's Play run before I dive too deep into that. But that's it for this one. A little bit more mod stuff coming up. Return to finish off the Let's Play, and then I'm gonna jump back into the mod stuff. The mods is really fun. If you made it all the way to the end here, thank you. I do appreciate it, and I hope to see you in the next one.